Happy Tuesday, everybody. I am here at home and, you know, just sort of killing time. Where I think that most of us who understand um, the importance of the enforcement arm of our government um, know that there's been in like huge abuse, and I don't want to say that it's not even personal, because actually it is. It's personal. It really, because I mean, I like Donald Trump. He's like, if he was to like come near me and had that attitude about grabbing me by the pussy, I would just say like, not me, buddy. But at the same time, he's a great guy. So I I'm not really happy about that. I don't think that anybody should be. Like, nobody should be happy about. Why am I cleaning my teeth? Sorry. Um, yeah, nobody should be happy about that. It brings nobody. It should bring nobody any pleasure to know that uh, you know people in politics have taken their show to this extent, where if they go and raid a person's house, then it might actually trigger the thought in people's minds that maybe they did something wrong. Actually, no, it's a show. It's a show. It's going to be a show. And it really just only means that we should know what we're dealing with. And I'm not saying like, oh, go and commit. I'm saying this like in a very positive way. Of course, if you know that people in this position are willing to do something like that, would you put yourself in harm's way, where people have to, go and inspect you and do these things? And well, it doesn't really matter, because obviously there's a bunch of crime anyway. So are you I was kind of thinking like maybe Joe Biden is trying to like he's like, reminiscent and being like nostalgic of like his heyday, and is thinking that bringing like, a bunch of Mexican or immigrants is like the way to like uh prepare for war. Actually, no. Neither is training for pronouns. I hate my teeth. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to read something that I wrote yesterday, actually, before I even found out about what's happening in this world. And here it goes. Democrats' modus operandum is to oppress in the most humiliating and disadvantageous way possible, by appealing to the basic and rightful needs of their constituents, as though it's something that you hold over someone's head to get your way, is blackmail. Then to gloss over it as a legitimate and official public service practice is an abuse of power, hurts the innocent, and emboldens the corrupted. It's plainly deceptive and insulting to the intelligence. To be enticed into voting Democrat is to choose an oppressed group, then take your marching orders from pathetic, low pedigree, Soros/Sanger-backed public representatives to further your degraded state of livelihood, all the while the mob thrives. Enticing is an understatement. In Los Angeles, it's more like intense peer pressure, because a majority of the population is weak. Think the homeless, Me Too actresses, and money hungry prostitutes that do anything for job security. It's ground zero for a moral deficiency crisis worse than any pandemic. The truth is that these wannabe leaders are the stifled and trifled ones that want to get everyone to sing Kumbaya along with them, only not from a campfire by the river, but remotely. They from their taxpayer funded high perches, and the rest of us, they want us to conform and call this a life all the way to our graves because they've made it a private enterprise to slave drive taxpayers, their constituents. After all, if we begin to think critically, we would catch on to their fraud. How would they sustain their big ballin' and shot callin' lifestyle they've become so fond of? They're comfortable in their high paid, oppressed circumstances, unable to handle competition from independent thinking and analytical adults that have strived through life's obstacles, because there are many. Their only tool is to attack true leaders who call us to be the best of ourselves and build something called character so that we find our skill and become enterprising, self sufficient, and fall into a position where we demand the best caliber among us as our leaders. These lowlives out to get payback over their shattered vanity by so-called retribution on the backs of the humble and the meek is second-rate class and wouldn't fly in any other first world nation. We're embarrassing. Um, Amos 2 verses 6 to 7 says, that they sell the just man for silver and the poor man for a pair of sandals. And I gained a glimpse of a modern interpretation yesterday listening to Tom Hughes. What this passage sounds like to me is that Americans are being sold at a premium to our Orthodox and the Oriental neighbors, that we're impoverished according to the elite's plan. But when we're impoverished, according to the elite's plan, will only be worth a pair of sandals, an item to be stepped and trampled over. And then I have no idea why. Oh, um, actually, we'll get to this next topic later. Yeah, no, I mean, when you read the Bible and you really do believe in an expiration date to our lives, and understand that there's somebody behind why it's all going to expire eventually. I've dealt with God. You know, God has told me that um I'll never have any answers for anything that I really want to know beyond what I have in front of me. And that in front of me right now is really not great. Um, so I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not like suicidal or anything. I'll never be suicidal. Either way, yes, we all wanted somebody to address the issues. People, I'm not really even sure what existentialism means, but what it doesn't mean is is promoting a lifestyle of immediacy. And I don't really want to get into it. I really do feel that there's like a bunch of people that are just very trashy, and um like a lot. And if I ever ended up having to be in some sort of I'm probably going to find myself in a position where I'm gonna have to confront other people, and my message really is this: is if you don't have a better suggestion, is don't rock the boat. Like, do you have a better idea? No, they don't. They don't have a better idea. All they want to do is to challenge authority. This is the people that we have as our leaders. They challenge authority. They want people to, to have like, um, to answer to them, answer to us, answer to, instead of falling into the framework that's been there. And there's always been black people. There's been black people from the beginning of time. So why is it like so critical now? Because Obama was president? Um, ooh, big deal. Who cares? White people put him in power. Duh. Okay. And then black people just like followed and wanted to make of it what they wanted. And yeah, seriously, we need to get educated. Either way, aside from what I just wrote, from what I just read, which I wrote yesterday, I wanted to also read um, a mess, like a paragraph from the Jesus Fast from Lou Engle. So this is about, I'm sorry, this music is really fucking killing me. I'm really not into like that. With like, zoning out. No, not for me. Hang on a second, sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I wanted to read a paragraph from this book, and this is kind of like initially a paragraph that like struck me, but at the same time just put it away. Like I put it away, and I just thought like, yeah, I'm gonna meet people that think this way, and everything's gonna be good. And recently I'm just like, oh my god, I'm not meeting people like me. But I was educated to be like very diverse, a kind person, bring up my, have great kids that love everybody, which they do, by the way. And so, and I'm proud of that. They might not love me so much sometimes, but they love people. They're very loving and they get along with everybody. They better. Okay. So listen to this paragraph. Again, this is from The Jesus Fast by Lou Engle and Dean Briggs. This is from I attended a revival session back in like 2017, I think it was. And so I picked up a few books. I actually picked up the Reckless Devotion up there. Okay, so a mindset can make us victims of history or makers of history. The invisible war that transpires at the level of thought is difficult to recognize, and all the more crafty as a result. Our enemy, the ruler of this world, and then in parentheses, John 12, verse 31, is a cosmic master of mind games who cunningly stalks his preferred paradigm with various ideological constructs meant to subtly control us. When I read that, I just thought like, oh my God, yeah, like sometimes I don't even like, I think you can like, consider it more like being a zombie and not really taking action in your life and knowing what you're doing. But at the same time, what I do think about that is that it has like uh, uh, as a precursor, it's a precursor to really understanding that sometimes there's things that we can't see and that we might take for granted or not, but we have to open up our eyes and fight for it. I don't really think that it's about being woke. Not I don't think that you should tell, children to be woke. Like, be woke, guys, be woke. I really feel that that's more like people start to get a little bit disrespectful, then people have to reprimand and that kind of thing. So I don't really agree with that whole, call to, to do these things. Um, I really I want to put the power back in the parents' home, even if it's just a single mom. And those moms need to be taken care of, and they need to know that other people are watching out for them too. Like nobody wants to live with people that are crappy. Like we want to all just be around people that are have well manners, and so either way, maybe I'm changing a little bit and you don't really see like that ugly side of me that I've shown a lot because my kids are actually grown up now. And I've been acting like the child. So it's kind of like the, timeline of life. So either way, just wanted to share that with you. I think that I will probably have something else to say about that a little bit later. Either way, I'm happy to touch anybody's hearts and minds. And um, love is searching for your creator. That's what love is when you search for him, he's there. So do that. Have a great one. Bye.